I guess it's like a testament kind of to like the small business culture of it, right? To where like you like you'll be doing your like you have to set up your own stuff and you have to just see like we've been in here for maybe like 20 not 30 minutes, we've been like 15-20 minutes just setting up and stuff just because I had to like get it going. We had like a slow day, so I guess you feel the same, right? Like with your
100%. Yeah. Do you just roll whenever?
I mean, like I wanted to get like a natural start going into it, and then I'll introduce it later. But I don't know. Do you feel that like sometimes? Did you have to improvise on some stuff?
Oh, dude, 100%. A lot of the stuff you have planned, and then it's like you want to plan for it, and then last minute it's just you just gotta go with the flow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Figure it out somehow, some way.
100%. Yeah, you're gonna always have to improvise because nothing's gonna be perfect like right away. Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like on a day-to-day basis, you have something planned, and it's like something's gonna pop up here and there, and it's like just gotta go with it, right?
Yeah, and then you can figure it out. It's just like about being a problem solver at the end of the day, right?
100%. Don't stress about it. You just have to go with the flow. 100%. Yeah, man.
I mean, we're already rolling, guys. Welcome to season 2, episode number 2, Through Deep Waters. Welcome to the waters. And today we're actually really excited. I got a special guest in the building today. You want to introduce yourself, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Where do I look? You or the camera?
Whatever you want. Whatever feels natural, man.
What's going on? My name is Tanner Weiler. I'm a personal trainer. Recently switched to online training. Zay's actually one of my recent clients, so that's cool. But man, I appreciate you for having me on this pod. I know it's been you've been grinding this. You said 20-something episodes, so proud of you for that. And it's been kind of like a goal of mine to get on a podcast, see how it feels, and just the vibe of it. Because I feel like when I watch podcasts, I'm like zoned in for like 2 hours. I'm just like, wait, what? I just watched like a few people talking. I'm like, it's definitely a vibe, and just to kind of like spread words or just like have a conversation.
Do you like to watch it or listen to it?
I'm a visual guy.
Okay.
But when recently, like going on walks or whatever, like music is cool. I think when I'm driving, I like music better. But when I'm walking, there's gotta be like a purpose to it. Like,
makes sense.
We still gotta learn while we're walking, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm the opposite way, so I don't like watching the podcast. I feel like the whole point of a podcast, the whole innovation behind them bringing back the longer content is because I can have it in my ear and go do my whatever I need to do with the rest of my day and stuff like that. So I feel like that's like for me, I've never like any Through Deep Waters episode that we've released, anything like that, I've never watched it. I've always listened to it. I don't really like, and we have the video out because like it's good to have video and we enjoy creating that type of content, and it's good for the snippets, for the little Instagram
that's where I find a lot of the podcasts that I'm listening to is scrolling through social media, and you see a clip and you're like, it's always the good clips, and it like forces you to go watch it. Right? And that's the whole, okay, it kind of like dragged me in, so I got to go watch it. But I do listen to some of them, but prefer to watch for sure.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Let's get right into it then. So Tanner, like you said, you're a personal trainer. Would you say is the right word? You got your online program going for people who are basically anywhere around the world, right? That you could sign up and you could be involved in this amazing thing. Why don't we take like a quick minute, 2 minutes? Why don't you explain what your program is and what you do basically?
100%. So I basically started off in-person training.
Okay.
At obviously the gym we go to, Crunch. Kind of like steering away from there now, but I was in-person trainer for around 4 to 5 years there. And then obviously through lockdowns and such over here, you just open, you close, you gain clientele, you lose clientele. And it's just like, obviously everyone went through the same thing in terms of like losing jobs, gaining jobs. And it was just like such a repetitive thing where I gained clients, I lost clients, I gained clients, and I was only limited to the city I was in, right? There wasn't much variety. Oh, my cousin lives 5 hours away, can't really train you, right? Okay. And then that's the whole idea of when it was in lockdown, it was like, okay, me and my buddy Matt, he's my photographer, videographer. Shout out Matt.
Shout out to him. That guy does some crazy content.
100%. He helps me out a lot. So dude, I do appreciate you. We started off, I kind of like started off building, he helped me kind of like build a website. It was like peak lockdown. Let's get some home workouts out to people. Let's get a website going. And that was like the start of everything virtual. And I was like, okay, let me just like give everyone like free stuff, and whatever I can help them with, I can help them with. It was more home workouts. So I kind of started there. And then as lockdown like went on, I was like, okay, like home workouts are kind of just like not boring, but everyone knows how to do home workouts. That was kind of my mindset, right? I wanted to do something more advanced. And to be honest, I was just like, I was cruising. And that's something I do regret is not starting my online business and my online training a little bit sooner, because I knew lockdown was the time to capitalize in it, because everyone was just chilling at home.
People didn't know what to do for their workouts. I remember I hit you up and I said, I don't know how to
100%.
work out, like how to
Yeah.
keep fit at this time.
And I remember
Right?
when I worked at the gym, you came up to me and you were like, in case of another lockdown, what do I do? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, let's try and not say there's going to be another lockdown, because I want to stay here. Right? But yeah, 100%. And that was kind of the vibe with the lockdowns. Nobody really knew what was going to happen. So from there, had the home workouts, and then I was like, you know what? Like, it was cool, whatever. Everyone's back to work now. So
Yeah.
let's just focus on in person, right? And then that was like the second time, and it was more people. Okay, all my clients who were my clients before, I'm either scared to come to the gym, I'm not ready. I was like, okay, it's time to like rebuild back up. As soon as I rebuilt back up, lockdown again. And I was just like, I was trying to help them, and it was just like a weird time where I was like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? Do I just stick with in person? Do I do something else? And I know a lot of people, and that's actually the time frame where I was like, you know what? If I'm not gonna be training people from home or whatever, at least gain more education on how I can help. So that's kind of where I gained my level 1 nutrition certification. Was
Okay.
all lockdown. I was like, awesome. I'm gonna take this time to capitalize on studying more, gaining more information. So then when it opens back up again, I have more value for people.
Makes sense. It
Right.
was like a turbulent time for everybody, but I think despite all that, I think you came out looking strong, I would say, from the lockdown. After everything, like the way the program has turned out now.
Yeah.
We're what, like a year removed from the last lockdown, I would say.
Yeah. It's
Something like
been, it's definitely been, because it's actually marked in September. September 7th marked the 1 year since I've kind of transitioned online.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely a big milestone, but it still feels like the beginning of everything.
Of course. And like at the end of the year, in it for the long haul, you want to build an institution of online training at the end of the day, right?
100%.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's like I think the biggest thing that came out of COVID was kind of innovation. Like we were faced with such a challenge, and a lot of the people that came through the podcast before you that has stuff going on or whatever, were in the same mindset of like, we want to, like, whatever we were doing before stopped working because we're now all stuck at home. What do we do now? We have to just figure out a way to keep going and put food on the table and you know, instead of just sitting idle. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, is I sat idle in COVID. I had some personal stuff I had to figure out. You know what I
100%.
mean? But no, it was a great opportunity, and I think but I don't see, like, I don't think you wouldn't have been in a place of achieving that opportunity had you not been focused on the gym and been about the gym and stuff like that. I know people who try to do personal training or other type of stuff, but they're not invested into the gym and they're not invested into self-improvement and stuff like that, and it fails, right? It doesn't work out. My thing to you is, I've seen the pictures that you posted on your Instagram, I think from maybe like it was 4 or 5 years ago, or whenever you started your journey, right? And it's like a stark difference, night and day. And I'm interested to know, how did you start? What made you start going to the gym and improving yourself? And I don't just want to know about the physical, I want to know about the mental. Because for me, when I started my gym, I started for the wrong reasons. I was trying to impress some girl in school, right?
There we go.
Same thing?
So basically what happened is heartbreaks, dude. They get you in the gym,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
100%. And grade 10, grade 11, like throughout high school, it was always sports, but it was also like I was focusing, I wasn't really focusing on education. It was like sports and girls. That's what I want.
Okay.
Right. And I was good at sports. I was very athletic. And then obviously like some girls came and went, and then first relationship, and then kind of broke. And it was, how it started was, I would say, first off, obviously heartbreak for sure. And then second off, I was always the skinnier guy, always in high school, the smaller dude playing football, the smaller dude playing hockey, getting pushed around, smaller dude playing baseball, didn't have the strength to throw the ball strong enough, didn't have the strength to like hit a home run. And you see all these different guys, obviously different builds, and you're like, damn, like I wanna like be stronger.
Like,
with,
what
like
if,
them.
right? Like, you know?
100%, yeah. So then I started going hard. Like it's funny. People are like, when did you start? Or what? Yeah, when did you start? And it's like, truthfully, I started in. It all stemmed in grade 8 when I wanted to win the male athlete of the year award.
Okay.
And I was like, man, that'd be so cool. You just got to do all the sports. And then I thought they based it off of every sport you did. And apparently my school, they just based it off of your track and field scores.
That's it?
That's it. So I got told, like, you got to do all the sports. You got to show up. Obviously, you're in elementary school. It's cool. And then my one buddy, best buddy, he got a better 400-meter run than me. And he won the male athlete. And I was crushed.
Oh, wow.
And I remember at that ceremony, obviously I was just a kid, but I was like, I was manifesting. I was like, they're going to say my name. I've done everything in my power to.
Oh, it's like one of those movie clips where you're the guy on stage and you're thinking, it's going to be you, it's going to be you. And then suddenly the camera pans.
Oh, dude, I was ready to get up. I was ready to receive that award. My family was there.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dude, I have this in the bag, right? I have this in the bag. And then they said my buddy's name, and not even kidding. And I wasn't trying to be emotional. I was like trying to hold back tears because I was like, there's no way. Like my dreams were crushed, right? And then I ended up winning personal achievement award. I was like, whatever, like don't need this award. Who cares? What I cool, I got an award, but what is personal achievement? Mm-hmm. And I was actually reflecting on this couple nights ago that's, if you look back on it, a personal achievement award is a huge reward to get.
Yeah.
But I was like, doesn't mean anything to me.
I think it's like a point of growth because like as children, we don't really know
we don't see that.
What's important and what's not, right? Like
we see science award, we see math award, we see athlete, like the big stuff.
Yeah.
And you see like personal achievement.
It's like winning most improved.
Yeah. It's like,
NBA,
what did I improve on? You know what I mean? Like getting smarter, right? So that's like where it truthfully stemmed from, was not getting the athlete of the year. And
would you say like your defining moment was that?
That, and then I would say, like obviously for you were one of my clients, and a big thing I focused on was what's your like emotional why of like when times get tough, because you want to be confident, you want to be comfortable in your own body. Everybody does, right? But what's that one thing in the morning that, hey, I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym? What's that one thing that's like, oh, 5 years ago this happened, this is why I have to get up?
Yeah.
Like you need to find your emotional why of why you want to do something.
And that applies beyond gym. That's like anything in life.
It's anything. Yeah.
So what was your personal why, you would say?
Yeah. So I would say there's definitely, I can name like 10 right now, but I do remember grade 10. I like family was like very knit. It was almost like they have that like perfect family.
Okay.
And then my parents split and got a divorce.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
What I'm saying, yeah, it's all good, but like when people have those kind of not terrible moments in their life, they're like, why did this happen to me? You should be more thankful for like, thank you that happened to me, because that's where I got to today.
Oh yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I would say like defining moment was definitely obviously that happened, breakup happened, and then I was like, you know what? I would just get like different comments here and there. I remember like I was I forget where I was, but it was like a small space between a couch, and this one person's like, you can fit through that. You have skinny legs, mm-hmm. right? Didn't think of it at first, and then like I'm like, wait, what? Like I got skinny legs, right?
Why you say it like that?
Yeah. Why do you say it like that? Exactly. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And then it was like on your arm here, you have like this one bone, right? Mm-hmm. Like right here.
Oh,
like that bone, right? Yeah. I remember playing basketball, and this one kid was like, hey man, like, are you okay? I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, did you like break your arm or something? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, why is your bone sticking out? It's just because I was skinnier.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
right? And I remember this to this day, right? And a lot of, I know it, and for my family, I knew it came from love, but one of the obviously younger like cousin siblings, and I remember like aunt and uncles would always be like, instead of one burger, have 2 or 3. Like you need to eat.
You could use some.
You need to eat. You need to eat. And I was like, it was always this like nagging, and then it got to a point where I'm like sick of it. Like it's. I was sick of the way I looked. I was not comfortable. I was not confident to talk to girls. I was not like any social events, parties. I was like, I'm not comfortable the way I look or the way I look in the mirror. So it's time to make a change. And then from there, obviously that was like more of the why. And then the byproduct was obviously getting stronger, getting like better at sports. And then it kind of just like stemmed from there, to be honest.
Oh, that's amazing, man. I mean, honestly, like, it's my biggest thing that I struggled with those type of issues, the reasons why you start, the reasons why you make that change, is because for me, a lot of it came from like a toxic place. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's like you get your body image, the things you've described, how people have spoken to you, it'll get so bad, but then you'll look at yourself and you'll be like, I don't like how I am. I don't love myself. And so you'll start from there. And when your foundation starts there, it gets so hard to change later on. It's not impossible, right? You could do it, but it gets so hard to change it later on. But what I want to know is, you've described a whole bunch of issues or negative seeds, let's call it, right? That have got sown into your mindset, that have led you to be on this journey, right? Do you still find that those negative seeds are kind of planted in your mind? You could be honest. It's not a bad thing. It's just a byproduct of our natural, because I definitely have them, right? I definitely have to keep fighting myself and telling myself, no, it's not because of, I don't have to go to the gym because I look bad. I go to the gym because I work on myself, right?
100%, yeah.
So what I want to know is, for you, how did that mental side start? And then how did it progress?
I would say like the mental side definitely came from trying to escape everything that I was dealing with, whether it would be the breakup, whether it be like the divorce, whether it be like losing friends or like you're skinny, like the words. And that was like the motivational factor to get in. And then obviously you work on yourself, you see results, and then it's like you kind of get to a wall. It's like, now what? Right. And I feel like I always wanted to, I'm a very competitive person, so I always wanted to reach that like next level. But I'm like, and I still think about it to this day, where it's like, how like far do you really want to go?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, what's that point where it's like, okay, I'm satisfied. And truthfully, like, there's no point where I'll be like, I'm satisfied the way I look, or I'm satisfied with my strength. And that's something I feel like you have to embrace when you're obviously in this fitness journey. Is, I know it sounds kind of harsh if you're starting out, like you're never going to be satisfied, but truthfully, like, you're always going to want that next level for yourself. And
can I challenge that?
100%.
I would say maybe rewire that. Instead of saying you're never going to be satisfied, why don't you say you'll always want better for yourself?
100%. I'll be proud, but I'll never be satisfied.
Like, yeah, like,
right?
The hunger will always be there.
Oh,
type
100%.
of thing. And I think that's like that fine line you walk when you think about these type of things, is like, you could either go like, I need more because I'm not enough without it, or you could be like, I'm enough without all of this, without all these gains, without skinny Tanner, right?
Yeah.
Is enough in and of himself. But this is what I want to do, because on top of what I have, I want to build, because that's what I'm passionate about. So I think that's a healthy way to think about gym, because otherwise every person who goes to the gym, who's been going for more than 2-3 years, will fall in that trap of like, I need more. Yeah. Or when you go to the gym for like 6 months and you get some gains, but then you go vacation for a month and you're I don't know, like, it's happened to me. Like, I go home for vacation and I don't gym, right? And then the gains go away. So then I feel like I'm deficient as a human being. And I think there's a healthy way to think about gym where that doesn't have to be the case. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. And to jump in on that, I feel like now it's more of, I go to the gym to keep my mental health in check. Because I know sometimes if I don't move my body, and it's not necessarily just the gym, but it's more so just like moving your body. I feel like I kind of go a little bit mentally insane, where I'm like, I need to work out for 30 minutes just to feel good. Right. And your point of kind of going on vacation and coming back and you don't really feel like yourself. And that's why I try to, when I'm on vacation, try to get a lift in maybe 3 times, maybe 2 times, just to like keep myself there. Yeah. Because I know, like, without it, I would definitely reach a very, very dark hole. And I know, obviously, through lockdowns, I know personally a lot of friends who went down that dark hole. Thankfully, I had a full equipped home gym to like keep myself sane.
Oh yeah, you were posting videos and stuff, and I was like, yeah, this guy has a setup, and that's good. Yeah. So,
and that's what, honestly, that's what kept me, like, I don't want to say alive, because that's very serious, but obviously everyone's contemplating what's next, and they don't really know what is next.
I think we're forgetting in hindsight, it was a really uncertain time. We didn't know we would come back to this.
100%.
Like, we had no idea.
No. And I think the thing that kept me sane was still working on myself. And I know if I stop that, and I'm very grateful that I do have obviously gym set up, and very grateful that I do have weights to still like work on my body. I feel like if I didn't have that, I would have felt in a very deep, like bad mindset hole kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I want to just also, really quick, I want to put it out there. Everybody who's looking for that quick fix or thinking gym is going to change your life in like 2-3 months or whatever. Tanner, from when you were skinny to now, through all the ups and downs of gym life and everything, how many years has it been?
Like the whole journey together?
Like from the moment you started consistently going to the gym till now?
Consistently, I would say it's been 7 to 8 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think even me, you're more advanced than me. I've been going maybe like 5, 6, right? Like I think we are proof and testament that if you don't go to the gym for like 20 hours a day or whatever, like very exaggeration, but
Right.
but if you live your life and go to the gym, like it's not gonna change your life in 2-3 months. It's
No.
a continued process, and you have to be
Yeah.
in for the long haul type of
100%.
thing, right?
And when you say that, a lot of people get intimidated because they're like, oh, that's like a very big commitment that I'm not so sure if I want to make right now. And I've heard that a lot, obviously, through different holiday seasons. I'm going to wait until the right time. But you can't look at it as...
The right time is right now.
100%.
The right time is right now.
And a lot of people are like, yeah, like I understand, like I need to take action right now, but let me feel... Like, let me hit that wall of like, oh, I really need to start. But when you hit that wall of, oh, I really need to start, you've already dug yourself into this massive hole that's hard to get out of, right? So I would say, obviously, like the right fix isn't there if you're looking for a 3-month, like 20-pound weight loss.
Go see a dietitian, do your keto, and then come back to us in 6 months once you've gained it back.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. And it's, when I first started off, obviously, I can like confidently say like it was an obsession, it was an addiction, but that's like all I had in my life to keep me going. And I feel like now it's more of don't try to make fitness your life. Like you said, quick fixes. Everyone thinks you have to go grind mode. Don't make fitness your life. Make fitness like a part of your life.
Exactly.
Like right now, if you go 3 times a week, that's cool, right? You're still making fitness a part of your life, but it's not like 100% your life.
Better you go 3 times a week and sustain it for a period of 2-3 years than you go
For sure.
6 times a week and only do it for 3 months.
100%.
Right? I was reading this book, listening to this audiobook. I've been trying to make that more of a habit. But I was listening to this audiobook the other day, and the guy was talking about consistency, I think, is the key to everything in life. Like whether it's wealth, whether it's gym, whether it's like your personal improvement, whatever. If you go like do something and do it to such a hard and high level, right? You're gonna burn out if that's more than what you can chew. You might be able to do it for some time, but eventually there's gonna be a wall and you're gonna burn out.
100%.
Rather you do something that might not be the same output or the same commitment as maybe the person, your neighbor or the person next to you, but in the long term, maybe 5 years from now, you're still going. He might have burned out a long time ago. It's a kind of the same philosophy I do with this podcast, right? Like I'll release every other week. I don't release every week because I know I got work. I'm a full-time employee, right? I got work. I got stuff to do. I have a social life as well that I like to keep. I want to get my sleep in too, right? Like it's very important to keep on top of your health. And so I know,
sure.
I know that this podcast, there's no way I can do the social media, like everything basically, the editing, the filming, the booking people and guests and stuff like that. I can't do all that and release every week by myself as a full-time employee and goes to the gym and has a social life and tries to get 8 hours of sleep.
Right.
You know?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So like the same applies everywhere, whether it's gym, whether it's, like just start your journey, start small. And then if you feel comfortable, I even tell people go once a week. If you're really like down the whole bad, go once a week at least.
Yeah.
Every, I don't know, Thursday. Say Thursday is my gym day.
Yeah.
See how you feel after a couple weeks. Maybe I could do Tuesdays too. Okay, I'll go Tuesdays as well. Okay,
Right.
now maybe I could do Monday. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Now we have a routine. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. I totally understand with that. Like, I agree with that, where it's like start off small and then you build up from there. Another good thing, obviously, to point out that if you're like really into it right now, because it's kind of like the opposite of what you're talking about, where people are like, this is all I want to do. Like, this is fun. Like, I want to change, right? And it's like, that's cool. Like you said, don't burn yourself into a wall or don't like burn out.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like saying like, okay, if you want to like really get into it right now, like grind yourself into momentum, and then you have to find the pace you can run at.
Exactly.
And instead of just going crazy, find the pace you can run at and then run at your own pace.
I think that's the other thing too, because when people start, sometimes like people from their whole heart, they feel so motivated. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and they love it and they want to do it. But you also have to realize, like anything in life, that motivation will not always be there.
Right.
Discipline beats motivation, and you have to build a habit that you can fuel with your discipline, right? So I might be happy going to the gym now, but I spoke to you before I signed up for your program. I said, I'm not happy at the gym. I just feel like this is a workout that I want to get in, finish up, and go. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't enjoy being here.
Right.
So in those moments, and they happen to everybody, you got to be disciplined enough to say, okay, regardless, I'm going to still keep going. I'm not going to stop going, but I'm going to find a way out of it some way, somehow, right?
100%.
Before we pivot, if there's anything like promotion-wise you want to promote on your program, because I want to pivot more into that, what do you want to talk about in terms of, like, what do you want to tell the audience, the viewers, in terms of what your program is and what you can offer them? Just if I give you like a 1-minute pitch.
100%. Yeah, 1 minute hit. You're putting me on the spot here.
Do your thing, man.
But like, yeah, in terms of obviously what I do, online coaching, it's all virtual. So like wherever you are watching this, like you can join. It's not like, you're right beside me. That's the only thing you have. If you're obviously anywhere in the world, you can join. Basically, the process of how it works, obviously, we kind of get to know you a little bit better, find out like your goals, find out your why, and really see if you're a fit for the program. Because the biggest thing, obviously, I don't specifically take everyone on board. It's very, I wouldn't say it's like I only take so many people. Obviously, I'd love to take everyone, but it's more so I want to take those people who are 100% committed and who are 100% like willing to do it. And yeah, basically, you can find me on YouTube and Facebook at Tanner Weiler. Weiler as in the dog Rottweiler. A lot of people say Wheeler, but it's all good. the dog.
Where does that name originate from, if you don't mind me asking?
Weiler?
Yeah.
It's I'm German, so it's a...
Oh, it's a German name.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know where it originates from, but a lot of people, when they read it, they automatically just think it's Wheeler, right? No, yeah. Tanner Weiler, blah, blah, blah. But if you see the dog Rottweiler, you're not going to say Rottweiler.
Can I make a confession?
Go for it.
I had you introduce yourself at the beginning of this episode because I didn't know how to pronounce your name. To be honest.
It's all good. Tanner Weiler. And a lot of people are like, hey, I actually... and sorry to go off track.
No, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
In our family, because like obviously Weilers, a lot of people say Wheeler, right? Yeah. So the tradition was for Christmas, somebody gifts somebody a sweater and it has a Rottweiler in the middle of the sweater.
So people know what to say.
So then when you walk around, you're like, why is there a dog on your... Like, well, what's the dog? It's a Rottweiler. Oh, thanks for saying my last name correct.
Ah, right? Okay.
Yeah. So last Christmas, my sister actually gifted me a sweater that has a Rottweiler on it. It's just like an ongoing joke to wear it, and it's like a Rottweiler, right? But anyways, yeah, awesome. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook, Tanner Weiler, and then Instagram, T Weiler Fitness. And basically go back to the program kind of thing. It's like, yeah, find out your goals. And then basically it's a 6-month commitment, and we kind of just like dive deep on fitness, nutrition, and mindset. I believe mindset is the biggest thing to get you started. Obviously, you can find any fitness program, any nutrition plan to get you started on Google, but it's really the accountability piece of a coach and having that right mindset to like go all in.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any finessers yet?
Yeah.
People who don't pay or whatever?
Yeah, going through one right now.
Oh, man.
Not like that don't pay, but it's like they'll come in and they'll try to like learn everything right away. And it's like, okay, like, sorry, I can't do this right now, right? I've had a few few different like scenarios, and it's like it's part of the business, right? You're going to have it where people are like coming in, they're trying to take whatever. Same like business coaching, right? If you're trying to get a business coach, like same for myself for like my online stuff. They had this thing where it was like 60 days, love it or leave it. And I know buddies who did the program and they're like, yeah, man, I just did it for 60 days, learned whatever I could, and then I got out. I'm like, well, what's the benefit of that, right? What's the benefit of going in, trying to learn everything you can, and then get out, but now you just have a boatload of information and you don't know where to implement it. I was like, I'd rather just bite the bullet, have them coach me, and just be in it for the long run and learn it as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure. You'll miss out on a bunch of stuff that way.
100%. And again, that kind of like stems off of the mindset of quick fix. Okay, I'm going to come in, learn everything, and then get out so I can do it on my own.
There we go. That's the connection you need to make. Like, it's a mindset that applies everywhere. It's not just in your gym. Don't be finessing people out here because you can't get a quick fix in anything in life. Well, I had a friend, shout out Adam. I had a friend back home. He said, I posted on Instagram. I still remember this. You posted this years ago, and I still remember it. He said like a picture of him like in the gym and stuff, and he said, "Success. There's no escalator to success. You have to take the stairs.
Yeah.
You have to. There's no way."
100%.
Right. So
Yeah. And do you like taking the elevators? Or do you like taking the stairs?
like in real life.
Yeah.
No, I'm an elevator guy. You know what it
Me
is.
too.
I had to elevate. I had like an evolution because you see, like the building that I'm living in now. There's no elevator.
No elevators.
So I gotta take the stairs now,
Take the
and I
stairs.
live on the top floor, so I gotta go up and down on
we
my.
go.
I remember I saw a video. You know how you have Snapchat,
I don't really use it, but yeah, I do.
but you know the memories thing, right? On Snapchat,
Yeah,
where it'll flash back your memories. So it flashed me back to 5 years ago when I first came to Canada, and it showed me like, it literally was a video of me just pointing my phone and looking at the stairs and doing like this, no, and then pointing at the escalator and going like this, thumbs up, I'm in the escalator. And I laughed out loud when you said that because that reminded me of like literally yesterday I saw this video.
Yeah, I think the only good thing, in my opinion, that came from Snapchat, because obviously I feel like Snapchat was very like high school kind of thing, maybe college, university, and then after, like I don't really use it that much, but I go on it and I see memories and I'm like, let's go see what the hell I did 5 years ago.
Yeah, fact.
On this day 5 years ago, what did I look like? What was I doing?
I think I use Snapchat more because I got people like in different countries.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a nice way, like, oh, somebody sent me a picture instead of
Yeah.
a text. Like at least I see what he's doing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And even then, it still died down for me. But
But like if it goes back and forth, like me, you, just like face.
Like, what are we saying?
What are we saying?
It's like a once a day thing. I think that's why Be Real is coming for their market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be Real is really
100%.
coming for their market because I can see
100%.
what all my friends are doing and I don't need to waste time on streets and all that stuff, you know? But
100%.
we have a surprise for you guys on the podcast, and that surprise is the house cat. Say something. He's not gonna say anything now. He's
he's talking
camera
on pod.
shy. He's
Yeah.
camera shy. His name is Guddu. He's just chilling. When I was setting up, actually, it was kind of a hustle because for him, all this is toys, right? It's like the wires are toys, the microphone is a toy, everything is a toy. So he's just playing around and stuff. I wanted to ask you, one of the biggest things we do on this podcast is the podcast is kind of geared towards young people and like young listeners, and we encourage people to see somebody on the podcast, even though the audience is small or smaller than a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
But we do have a few listeners that hit us back and they say, "Oh, we appreciate what you're doing and we appreciate everything." So with that in mind, we like to see whoever comes on, especially somebody of a certain maybe like a venture that they're doing. So for example, for you with your fitness, with your program and your business and stuff like that. So think of a younger person, right? Or a younger version, or even somebody our age that wants to start, right? Like he wants to, passionate about fitness training, doesn't know how to help others. He sees that there's a bag there that he could tap into. He sees that like he wants to develop that. You're back in that mindset.
Yeah.
What tips would you give those people that want to start up as personal fitness trainers or to start your own business in general?
Okay. So not necessarily starting like their fitness journey, but like starting.
You could tap into the fitness thing, but I want to know because I want it to be like, because I know there's people like that who want to start helping others around them and stuff with fitness.
For sure. Yeah.
But also the business side of it too.
100%. I felt like it stemmed from me from helping myself. And then from there, I can help myself. Like if I can help myself, I can help anybody else. Right. And that's where I feel like it stemmed from, was if I can help myself, I can help others. But if people are like in that realm of they're starting something they like really enjoy, they really like, and I want to kind of venture out, it like the biggest thing, and I know this like relates to a lot of stuff, but the moment you overthink about it, the moment you think too hard about it, is the moment you're not going to take action and actually do it. Right? I remember for me, it was like overthinking. Should I do this? Is it the right? Like I was overanalyzing everything. Right? And I know sometimes you're the same way.
Oh no, I'm 100% the same way.
We've
100%.
had those talks before, right? Where it's just like you're overanalyzing everything to a T. When should I get started? Right? And I feel like you just have to trust your gut. And if it doesn't work out, that's cool. Right? There's a million other things to do. At least you tried though.
100%.
Right? Because the thing that I don't want happening is like, I know this is dramatic, but more so like on my deathbed, knowing I could have chased my dreams. Right? I could have actually taken action, but I decided to stay like comfortable and like do what everyone else wanted me to do or stay comfortable. If that makes sense. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. But how about, let's say if we talk about like the business side, because when I signed up for a program, right?
Yeah.
It was superficial. Like, I got a welcome package. I got like a bunch of stuff. And even when I paid, I was, am I going to e-transfer this guy? It's just like a somebody I know at the gym. No, it's like an official link that you pay, and it's a company and all this and that. If somebody's like, I know I can help people, I know I could do this, like, but I don't know, like, it looks so crazy logistically. What would you, like, is it simpler than it looks? Is it like, how was that process for you?
How was the process
of setting up your business?
It was honestly like massive shout out. Like, I don't think because I've tried doing this kind of like on my own sort of thing, where it's just like, let me just like do this on my own, see how it goes. And then it was more so of, again, like hiring a fitness coach, hiring like mentors. Like, it came down to the wire of, I'd rather not struggle with this for 30 years and like going through like ups and downs, and going to somebody who's done it before, right? And who has had success, and then not follow their footsteps, but like learn from them. And that's where it came down to, just like hiring business mentors straight up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hiring business mentors, hiring like different personal coaches, because the only way to level up is from somebody else who's done it before.
Right, and you get to do it in an official way,
100%,
right?
yeah.
And you do it in a way that's not like, you're not just some backroom guy that's gonna just give like, oh yeah, come with me, just e-transfer me this much every month. Here's a document that says you have to e-transfer me this, and we can start. No, there's actual business
it's
set up
legit.
behind it, right? It's legit.
And I feel like sometimes people get that vibe where it's just like, oh, like everyone, not necessarily like everybody's doing training or online training, but like there's like a big market for like scamming out there. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
100%.
A lot of people, and I'll be straight up, like I get DMs so much of like voice notes of people saying, and I know it's a script 100% of them being like, hey man, this is what I do. I can get you clients. Just message me right now. And that's such, you know what I mean? Bye. And if I did that to somebody watching here, or somebody, hey Zaid, I sell a fitness program. I can make you lose 30 pounds in 6 weeks. It's like salesy. Like, you're just trying to sell, you know what I'm saying?
I think even in your sales pitches, like what can you do in your sales pitches to come across as different? Because you see so many people put the algorithm like, women of this age, I think it is a women of certain ages, as far as I know, maybe I could be wrong, that are the biggest target market for fitness, right?
Yeah,
so you see a lot of
I've got a lot of questions about that too.
Yeah,
where it's like, you only train women? Like,
he trained me.
Do you train men as well? And I was like, listen, like the whole thing about it, like, yes, I train men, I train women, train anybody, but sometimes, like you said, target audience, whatever. This is my personal opinion. Don't take this personal at all. But a lot of times, like when I've trained males in the past, it was always very egotistical.
100%.
And I agree 100%. If I had like a bodybuilding coach, it wouldn't be like, I mean, that's like very, very serious. But if it was just like a regular fitness coach, I'd be like, okay, here's the program. Like I can do my thing. Like, I don't need you 100%, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of the males that I've worked with, where it's like, okay, here's the plan, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, see you later for a bit. But the women are more like
involved and tapped in.
Why this? Like, why am I doing this? How do I do this? It was more like that involving process of nothing against obviously male. I'm a male myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm the same way. It was just this like ego that was like, okay, I can do it.
Bro,
like,
the gym is like the breeding ground.
100%.
Working out is like the breeding ground for that type of ego.
100%.
I remember it's happened to me very recently. Like, I was doing the T-bar rows.
Yeah.
And I was confused. I didn't think I was hitting them properly, right? So I asked, there's a couple of people, and I asked them, one of them was a guy, one of them was a girl. I asked them, can you show me, like, check my form, see if I could do this properly?
Yeah.
So they checked my form and stuff, and they say, well, you should bend down more, like bend a little bit more, and like pull so you can target your back. You're kind of standing up.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So the guy said, why don't you drop the weight? And I said, I don't want to. Just instinctively. Why?
Yeah.
I don't want to put my weight down like that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I did, and I actually, like, in that moment, I thought about it, and I was like, guys, I'm sorry. Like, my ego is getting in the way.
It's the ego.
And, like, it will get you even when you're aware of it.
100%.
That's the thing. Like, for men, like.
And I don't want to, all the guys in my program, shout out you guys, I love you all.
Oh yeah, 100%. But we recognize these issues before they fester, right? And
100%.
We're all human at the end of the day, so we're all gonna have certain type of egotistical issues. Men,
100%.
the society and environment we engage in is very much built on ego.
Yeah.
Aside from what you're like you are like as a person,
100%.
right? So it's not faulting the man
Right.
himself. It's more
Yeah.
like this is what you gotta watch out for, and this is
100%.
where, you know what I mean.
It's like more of try to like be a student in the game, whatever you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Like for fitness, I'm still like my goals, like I'm trying to like compete in men's physique soon, right? So it's
up.
like I have to take a step back and be like, I don't know everything. There's still like this whole other space that I have not explored that like I need to be a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that mindset is key when you're trying to think, oh, you know everything, you know it all. Realistically, like we're just like coasting through life trying to like get by, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just have to try to, okay, whatever it is you want to do, just be a student and trying to absorb everything. Whatever advice you get, take with it how you will, not being like, this way is better, that way is better. Just like trust the process rather than thinking you're right 24/7.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like the biggest, like forget me and you, or forget any of us. The biggest fitness people, like athletes, like all these guys, they're all still learning. They all still ask people in the gym. That's the biggest thing for me. Like I'm never shy to ask somebody in the gym.
100%.
And also like if that person looks like they're doing something good or whatever, or like a weird exercise that I haven't seen before, I'll go up to them like, sorry, what exercise is that? Like, can I ask you, is that okay? Like, what are you doing? What is that? Like, you always have to keep learning, especially like in fitness, your body will get not stale, it's not the word. Your body will get used to what you're doing really easy.
100%.
So
Yeah.
you got to switch it up always.
Are you familiar with like Mr. Olympia, the whole bodybuilding world, or not really?
Not really, no. I don't tap into that just because I come from body image issues.
Right.
So I don't explore that.
I was
side.
having a conversation with my one buddy about, like Chris Bum said, C-Bum, like Canadian Mr. Olympia,
Okay.
right? And it was like, you think he's the top dog. He's trying to go for another Mr. Olympia. You think he needs a coach. He knows everything. He still has a coach, though.
Of course.
Right? And it's like, even, like you were saying, even the top dogs, even everyone who knows it all still has a mentor, still has a coach to, like, keep them there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the even more universal one, if you're LeBron James.
Yeah.
Like,
there we go.
If you're,
Thank you.
I'm LeBron James.
Yeah.
Like, he has like the best, highest IQ in all of basketball right now.
Yeah, okay.
That man does not coach the team.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And even the coach has the GM over him. And even the GM has the owner over him. And the owner has like his stakeholders over him too, right? Like there's like you're never too high of a level to be a sponge, and that's the biggest thing. Like I can't stress that enough, you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it's okay, I'll put you on the spot really quick.
Okay, let's do it.
What are the 3 toughest things about starting your own business? Go.
3 toughest things about starting an online business.
Starting your own business.
In
general.
Business in general.
Yeah.
You're trying to you have to think about it as a long-term game, not like a short-term sprint.
Okay.
Right. So a lot of times you're gonna get caught up in like if you think about it, Amazon wasn't built in one day, Tesla wasn't built in one day, right? It's over a process. So the biggest thing is keeping your mindset right every single day. You're gonna have slip-ups 100%, but if you let those slip-ups continue, your business is gonna decline.
Makes
right?
sense.
Geez, you said 3.
Yeah. Say one more thing. It's okay.
And I feel like the other biggest thing. What was your question again?
Like, what are the 3 challenges?
3 challenges.
Yeah,
Okay. I would say second challenge would definitely be I'd say mindset is a huge one, and then second one is to continue to evolve over time. Everything changes every single day, right? There's different it's more so of looking 2 years ahead rather than right now, right? Obviously, we're filming this November, like Black Friday soon, like everything.
This will come out after Black Friday.
100%. Yeah. But
so buy gym equipment. Don't be buying crazy stuff. Yeah.
100%. But like in that sense of like 2 months ago, you need to think about what you're gonna do for Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to creep up on you. I think that's another challenge too that I'm trying to obviously overcome and learn from. That like it's not so like in the moment. It's like you have to think about like 5 months down the road. How are you going to take action too?
Yeah, because you're not coming from I want to ask you like furthering just to push on your point a little bit further, because you're not coming from a place where, let's say, when you're working at the gym, you were getting a stable paycheck, right? You know how much money's coming in.
I guess that's the third challenge. Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know what it is. Like,
yeah.
as a business, you have to forecast and adapt to changes before they even come, because that money is not secured. Any business, I'm not talking about
100%.
you specifically, like any business out there, you don't know what your profits are going to be day in, day out. So you got to be tuned into what's going on, and you got to be able to see things before they happen and adapt to them before they happen too.
100%. Yeah, I think that's obviously like the third one is when you're coming from something stable and then you go to something on your own or like business, like adventure wise, it's always like you have to kind of accept the fact that every other Friday you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
And it's more so either every single day or every month. It ebbs and flows. And that's something like obviously I had to adjust to 100%, but it's like, okay, it makes you want to grind even more.
Did it make you smarter with your money?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There you go.
Yeah. We can go into that whole other side, but yeah, 100%. To keep it short and simple, like 100%. Like obviously when you start a business or have a business, like financially, you got to be.
You got to be on your game.
You can't. Yeah, you can't be a dumbass. Straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, because you like, some people will be like, oh, I got this, and I guess that's like the child mindset. I don't know, I'm gonna throw a random number. I got $5,000 in profit this month.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna buy myself a new like phone for $2,500.
Yeah.
Because I earned it. Because I whatever.
Yeah.
Rent, you gotta pay rent.
Yeah.
You gotta invest back in your business.
100%.
You gotta pay your taxes. Now, when you start your own business, you gotta worry about paying tax. The tax man's coming for you directly. You can't go be like, oh, my employer deposited this much in my account. It's all you. The tax man is there. But I got one off a little bit, but it's like all these things to consider, right? Like it's all these things to think about when you start your own business. When you go off and do your own thing, there's like. People will put it, there's so many like trendy videos of whatever, entrepreneurs and stuff like that. People be like, oh, I woke up in my downtown condo and I talked to 2 clients and I went to walk my dog and suddenly it's 5 o'clock and I'm done for the day, right? It does not, you see, he's laughing already. It does not work like that, you know?
Bro, it's like when I transitioned from like obviously what I was doing in person to like, okay, you have clients from here to here and then after that, it's done. You chill. And I'm like, okay, well, if I like have online, I'll have more freedom. Dude, I'm working from like 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. Like, it doesn't stop, you know what I'm saying?
It does, but that's the thing where you have to, like, you're passionate about it. And you have to,
100%.
And eventually, you're grinding right now, you're going hard right now, but you're setting it up for the future where, like it's a long game with entrepreneurship. At the end of the day, people go into entrepreneurship thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have a business idea and sell it to Google for $1 billion and live. No, nobody's buying your business idea that you thought of in the bedroom for $1 billion. You gotta actually work. You know what I mean?
It's a process. Yeah, 100%. You just gotta play the long term game.
100%.
And that goes same with like what we were talking before. Trying to get in shape, trying to get fit. Like it's not a sprint, you know what I'm saying?
Did you have to get your personal like trainer designation and stuff and for certification and all that stuff before you started?
Yeah. So like went to school for it, got like certifications, everything.
Okay. Like is that something that you have to do to be a personal trainer?
No.
Oh, so you like
and that's
you could pick up a phone and you could be like, I'm gonna train somebody for $100 a month and I'm gonna do it and nobody will sue you.
Unfortunately, yes. Because I actually made a video of that where like you can go online, get your certification right now for $500 and then say you have the certification to train somebody. Where it's a touchy subject 100%, where it's like I said, everyone's trying to do something that is either quick or they can make quick cash from, but if you don't truly care about it, you're not going to be in this game. Just like you said at the beginning of this podcast, where a lot of people who start off as trainers or start off as trainers, whatever, do they last? A lot of the times no.
Makes
right
sense.
A lot of times no. Even when I was in college, that whole class, and I don't know if like this is 100% accurate, but that whole class, I'm probably one of a couple that's like still doing that. Still doing what like I went to school for. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
A lot of people go in there, oh, like there's a demand for trainers, perfect. Like let me do that.
So what'd you graduate from then?
Conestoga.
Like I don't know what program I mean.
Oh, fitness and health management.
Okay, true. Okay, so you geared yourself, you knew what you wanted to do and you zoned in and you geared yourself for that. 100%.
Yeah. I knew what I wanted to do from day one, but to make that a reality was like, okay, let's
can I say something?
What's good?
Colleges really put people in position better than universities to be entrepreneurs. And I went to University of Waterloo entrepreneurship school.
There we go.
Like, can I like everybody who I know went to a college is in the trades making money, and not just making money, but they're also doing their own business and they're employing people at like 25. and or they're entrepreneur in some other way. If you're in university, you're like, oh, I'm going to university because my parents said it's like a good thing to do. It's the standard thing to do. And here I am with a degree and I'm working a 9 to 5 and I'm stuck. Like, if you're a traditional person and you're thinking of university and you're thinking like, oh, this is what I got to do, think about college too, because that will set you up differently for entrepreneurship, right? Like, it's because when you deal with things more practically, and you probably speak that better than me because I never went to college, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Like, I 100% I hear where you're coming from. I do think there's like a time and place to obviously go to school, get education for sure, because I know that's like a big debate right now where it's like, oh, you don't need school unless you want to be a doctor, right? And again, touchy
like engineer,
subject.
lawyer, all that stuff. Yeah, but
100%.
But
right?
like, school is not the only way. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you don't need school.
100%. Yeah, and a lot of times when it's like not the older generation, but like the older generation is definitely built on go to school, get a job, build a family, get a house, just like
Here's the template, follow it.
yeah. 100%, right? And when people start saying, no, I'm not going to do this, or no, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do my own way, it's like, shame on you, why would you do that, right? So I feel like 100%, you don't need, if you want to be entrepreneurial, like obviously, yeah, it's proven like you don't need to go to school for it. Like there's different like resources out there to help you, but I definitely feel it's a good resource to gain that experience in terms of like social aspect, in terms of maybe living on your own, big one, right?
Yeah.
In terms of if you're in a new country, in a new city, to make new friends, forces you to make new friends, forces you to, like I'm sure you know, like find your way around a new town, right? You would have never had this if you never went to university.
Man, I feel like it's different for me because I went to a different country too.
Right.
Right. Like what you just touched on. Right. Like It's not just that I went to university. It's that I had to figure my life out by myself. I'm just here. The next relative I know is an uncle in the GTA, and I'm in KW. I gotta figure my life out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I compare myself sometimes, and I'm not saying this to like brag or whatever, but let's not say me. Let's say anybody who went to university. Like I look at the people from back home that went to university abroad, and the people back home that stayed at home with their families, and the difference is seen in like practical things where you see somebody knows how to sign a lease for a house and somebody doesn't.
Right.
Somebody knows how to operate a laundry machine and somebody doesn't.
Yeah.
And somebody knows like, and that's not to shade on anybody because that could have been me that I could have stayed home, right? Just based on how circumstances played out. But it just means like if you get a chance to go somewhere and to be on your own, it's very tough, but go 100%.
100%. And that's something I'm actually opposite of I went to college, but it was like down the street from me. So I didn't have that experience.
Oh, like your KW born and raised?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have that experience of going into a dorm room, like meeting, obviously I had to meet new friends, but like moving out, never had to experience that. I've always been at home.
Makes sense.
And that's like a challenge I'm at the point in my life that I like want to chase, but also again, I do want to save as much as I can.
The housing market's crazy. Yo, if I lived in the same city as my parents, I'd also live at home.
100%.
Like having had my experience now.
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't. It's tricky, right? Because you wanna build yourself up, especially you're starting something like as your business. It's still in its I would say infancy because I think you still have a long way to go.
Oh, absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So, I would say starting something in its infancy, you're still trying to be on the safe side when it comes to your spending habits. Like it's not, like I wouldn't advise moving. I don't know. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your life planner. Like, do you live your life? But I don't know. For me, I live here because I have to live here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I live by myself because I have to live by myself at this stage. I'm glad I got to do the 5 years of doing it by myself.
Right.
And again, maybe that's culture too. Like, I don't know how the German culture is, but like in our culture, family's huge. Like you see, like if I'm living in the same city as my family and I'm 30 and I'm not married, like the expectation is like, yeah, of course he's living with his family. He's not married yet. It's like when you get married, then is when now you open a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
Well, how's it for you?
It's I wouldn't say like the German way. I would honestly just say like the white people way, to be honest. Because like I'm like a percentage German, but I'm mostly like white Canadian. I would say it's like I was having a conversation with my sister this too, where I'm 23 right now. She's 24, and you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, and for like obviously our time right now. It's you go on and you see people from elementary school, you see people from high school and college, married, have kids, have a house.
I had a few engagements already.
100%.
And a wedding.
And I'm scrolling every time I go on Facebook. I'm like I was like, it feels like I'm still in like grade 12, like going to class.
We're still hustling, man.
That's what I'm saying.
We're still hustling.
What I'm saying. And then like when I was talking to her, I was like, it's crazy because like one, I don't really like not care for that life. I'm just not in a phase of my life where that's important. And other people are in different phases where if you want to get a house, if you want to get married, if you want to have kids, that's cool. But like right now in my phase, I'm in like this grind phase where it's like grind now so I can like have fun later kind of thing. And going back to kind of like what you're saying, like the white people way, it's definitely evolved where it's like, if you're 30 and you still live with your parents, what are you doing?
They think like that?
You're like immediately it's like, guy has no life, he has no job, he's just bumming off of his parents. That's the way, obviously, we see it, right?
Okay.
If it's like, I would say that's where, if you're like, 30s and you're still living with your parents, is like something went wrong.
I feel like it depends. That what if the person is like 30 and he lives with his parents, but he's like contributing to the house and he's like he has his job. Like for us, we wouldn't like if we're saying like, you know how for us it's like, oh, you're 30 but you're still living with your parents and that's the expectation. It's not like your parents are gonna spend on you. It's like, oh, you're 30, you're a man, you make your own money. A man, because I guess I related it to me. I say either or, right? Like you make your own money and you contribute. Maybe you pay like 3/4 the rent and nobody knows. You know what I mean? You can never judge these situations.
No, 100%. Like. And that's where a lot of people are quick to judge is, I guess, I don't want to speak for like everyone, but definitely, and I guess that kind of culture you see it, you automatically assume that they're like low, right? They're like more
like that could never be you, fam. Everybody's like 2 missed paychecks away from being homeless. I hope you know that.
100%.
I hope everybody knows they're like 2 or 3 missed paychecks away from being homeless. Like don't look down on people like that.
100%. Yeah, you know? It's very important to know somebody before judging when you just see them maybe living with whoever, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, it is a big thing for us as humans in general, the way we operate. We're just very judgmental people. But
100%.
It's about fighting it internally because it is in our instincts, right? It's about fighting it internally and just making sure when you see somebody, don't categorize them in your head, I guess.
Right.
I would say, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It is what it is.
The way I've kind of viewed it as like before, it was always like I was just like so judgmental, like whatever somebody was going through, like they're just not motivated, right? Or they just don't have any drive. But now it's like they're in a completely different chapter than I am, putting myself in their position. You then tend to take a step back and be like, okay, what's really going on?
If like a couple turns in life went differently, that really could have been either you or me.
100%.
Right? Like to cap off, I'm trying something new with the podcast. I want to do a little segment with you.
Yeah.
Before we go, called Sink or Swim.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I like it.
Because like through deep waters, like sink or swim type of thing. How I envisioned it, and I guess I'll evolve it as we go, like with episodes and guests and stuff like that. But how I envision it is like, you know how you talked about earlier in the episode of you were contemplating a lot of stuff and it was a dark time for you earlier on during COVID lockdowns and stuff like that. If somebody else is in that situation and they're in a position where they can either sink into like that habit or sink into something worse or something that can negatively harm them, or swim and try to figure their way out. And let's put it in the context of like, I'm tired of what my body looks like. I'm tired of all this, and I know it's gonna be a long climb to go up, and I don't know if I can do it. I could either sink, I could either swim. What do you say to that person?
I would say 100% try your best to swim, but realize there's going to be moments where you're swimming where you feel like drowning, but you still have to keep swimming, if that makes sense. Like to put it in like simple terms, because obviously take it day by day, right? Don't think if you're swimming across the ocean, you're going to get there in 2 days, right? There's going to be waves. There's going to be stuff pulling you down. There might be a shark below you, right? You're going to get scared. You're going to go through bumps in the road, but you always have to have this mindset of, I'm capable of swimming. Let's try it out. Let's swim. See what happens.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, I think like you could be swimming for 5 days in a row, and then you might have one day where you sink a little bit. but that doesn't, don't get deterred by that day. Come back and swim again the next day. You know what I mean?
100%. And to cap it off, if you feel like failing, there's one day where it's like, you know what, I feel like failing. Think about, what if tomorrow you were at your, like, what if it was just one more day and you were there? Like, that's whenever I'm in my head, I'm going to fail. What if tomorrow is the turning point of when your business goes up?
Or when you start to see more results in your body, or
100%. What if tomorrow you wake up, you're 5 pounds less, you feel more confident, and you're finally going on a date?
Yeah.
But last night you decided to quit on yourself. You know what I mean? Think about it as tomorrow, like, hasn't come, but what if, instead of turning a what if into a negative, turn a what if into a positive.
Exactly.
100%.
I remember very last thing before we finish off, I was talking on the first episode of this podcast. I did it about the ins and outs of weight loss for me, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking about the mindset of people looking at this uphill battle of fitness and stuff and being like, oh, it's going to take me so long to achieve this. It's going to take me so long. But if you, like, mathematically lay it out, right, you are what you are right now in terms of your body or your progress or whatever, right? And from now till the next month is already mathematically, like, it's set in stone. Like, no matter what you do, unless you get liposuction and remove the fat from your body, your next month is set in stone. Your next 6 months may be set in stone already, like, from the moment that you've had that thought. But the person from a year from now is not set in stone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, forget about, like, you're already here. Forget about the next 3-4 months. You're already in this place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, do you want the version of you a year from now to thank you for what you're doing, or do you want them to be like, you should have started earlier?
100%.
Right?
I agree.
I feel like that's like another way of turning the what if into a positive. Like, what if I don't have to be like this next year? You know what I mean?
Yep.
What if I don't have to be lazy next year?
100%.
And it don't get it twisted, it doesn't come from self-hate. It comes from, like, improvement. Like, what if I can be in a much better place than I was next year?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
But yeah, man. Honestly, like, we actually went on for a while, and it flew by. I want to ask you, how was your first podcast experience?
100%. I at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, dial in, you start paying attention. But as it went on, it was just an awesome conversation, and it just flowed, and the vibe was amazing. So I appreciate you for having me on, man.
These are my notes. I didn't have no notes. I just decided, like, that's how it goes with podcasts, right? Like, you just have to be like, we're gonna have a conversation, and you just have a conversation, and wherever it goes, it goes. But you have 100%. Like a general theme you stay in.
And I said this before the pod. I'm like, I know you go deep into things, so I'm ready to dive into deep water.
I feel like 100%. I like that. Yeah, I feel like you were ready to, like, you thought I was gonna come for your, like, whole makeup of personality and your business, and I was gonna ask you all these deep questions, but it's just a conversation.
I know you're very authentic in the way you ask certain things, so I'm like, I know it's gonna come off genuine. It's just gonna be, like, more than just a mid kind of question. Yeah, like, it's something that you can expand on, which I appreciate, because a lot of things, like, how'd you start? Well,
tell us your history.
There we go. Yeah.
Like, for me, I want to walk that fine line. I think that's one of the biggest challenges for me as a podcaster is, like, how do I hit off the standard stuff, at the same time make my interview, I don't want to call it an interview, make my conversation different, and make it so that it's like just a regular conversation between two people and the audience benefits, right? So that's kind of where I try to walk, and I look at other great podcasters that I, watch or listen to and stuff like that, and I try to emulate some of the stuff that they do and build on it, right? So that's kind of where we go with that. And I had to film my first solo episode before this one. It's not out yet, but the one before this is going to be like a solo. Yeah, so that was really awkward. But
yeah. Because you're used to obviously having somebody else on, right?
Yeah, my brother who hosts with me is usually here, but he'll come back, so he'll go back to the regular program. But it is what it is. We just have to adapt as we go, right? Like you said about adapting with your business. Right?
Never know.
It all ties in together. It's like an interconnected web of mental gymnastics that you have to do.
100%. Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, we dragged on a little bit. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Tanner, do you want to do a quick post for the thumbnail of the video really quick?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We getting Taylor?
Yeah, whatever you want. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you if you made it this far, thank you for making it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram @ThroughDeepWaters, TikTok @ThroughDeepWaters. Tanner, you want to plug your social medias really quick before you go?
Yep, TikTok, Instagram, T Weiler Fitness, Facebook, Tanner Weiler, YouTube, Tanner Weiler.
my guys in the UAE, my guys everywhere in the world, there's no excuse. This man will coach you no matter what the time difference is. There's no excuse. You got to get that coaching. So I appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate it.
And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
100%. Thank you for having me.
We out.
Done.